Hi friends, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra here again at the South Dakota Military Heritage Alliance with the Range Monkey. And I know you're gonna be mad because Dad's not here with her. Instead, Quasi-Uncle John gets to hang out with Natalie today. And we're gonna talk about consistency with driving that dot forward on the presentation so that that dot shows up every time.
Throwing targets are lightweight, weatherproof, take thousands of rounds of shooting and make shooting fun. Pick up a set for your next range trip.
Question for you, are you enjoying making the dot transition?
I am. I like it a lot better than iron sights.
Tell me why.
I like that you don't have to line up as many things. You know, you usually have to line up your eyes, your back sights, your front sights, your target, but now it just eliminates a little bit.
A whole bunch, right?
Yeah.
I look at the target, I hover a dot over the top of it, rock and roll, right?
Yep.
It's so much easier. And I totally agree. But of course, the big challenge that you have with the dot is making sure you see it, right? Because if you lose it, that's when we get that presentation and we're like,
Yeah.
what has happened here? I do not have dot, right? And that happens to everybody from time to time until you have really, really, really well myelinated what you're doing. I'm gonna work with Nat just a little bit today on a little bit of practice to myelinate that drill, that presentation correctly, to see it every time, to have it come predictably every time. And we do that, we call it dropping it in from the top. And I'm gonna tell you where this comes from, okay? So every firearms instructor is a thief, all right? And so this is a combination. Probably my my most important red dot instruction. Brian Hill definitely has to be at the top there. AJ Zito has to be at the top there for sure. Tim Herron helped me out a ton. And of course, Scott Jedlinski, he's kind of the guru of the red dot, and I've taken his 2-day red dot class. So that's where my influences have come from. Which one of this? I think this particular technique is probably more Tim Herron than anybody else, but I don't know, I forget. Yeah. So don't yell at me about who gets credit for this, okay? Some of it's my own flavor of how I remember stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So we draw the gun, we get here to this position where our hands are together. Remember where we put them together? Where we're happy and we know it, right? Mm-hmm. Where we're happy and we know it, we clap our hands. So we put our hands together, and I'm gonna suggest that you go just a little bit front sight proud, just a little high.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I know a lot of folks like to have it very level and then kind of come up like an escalator. When we get up here, I want to be at the escalator. What I don't want to do is bring the front sight over my eyes and then drop it back down. It's kind of like fishing, right?
Okay, so it's got to be like...
So what I'm doing here is I'm a little bit proud. And then what I'm going to do is as the gun comes up, I'm driving the front of my gun towards the target. And at the same time, I'm driving the back of my gun and the back plate of my pistol up. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring the dot from the top somewhere in the window.
Okay, yep.
And once it shows up somewhere in the window, now I can steer it.
Okay.
Okay, and so what I want to do is start here, nice and easy, okay? Now remember, slow is not smooth and smooth is not fast. Slow is slow, fast is fast. Smooth can be good. Efficiency is really wonderful, right? Okay, so, but what we're going to do is we're going to start from here, drive that up with deliberateness so that we get it correct. Yep, see it, got it, and then drive it back and get a reverse rev.
Okay, yeah, I think me and Dad worked on this a couple of videos
back.
Yeah.
And seeing that come from the top, but the way that I see it, the way that helps me the most is I'm driving the back of my gun up to meet the front of my gun in the middle of my target.
Okay.
You notice here, see how your muzzle is oriented a little down?
Yep.
What I'd like to see here is, see how I'm a little bit proud, right?
Okay.
So what that's starting to do as well is as I'm driving with my support hand and crashing my support hand onto the gun, it's pushing that gun and getting my muzzle up. So if my muzzle's down here, then I have to bring it up at a higher speed to drive it to my target and put that back plate in the middle of my target.
Okay.
So instead, what I'm looking to do here is a little bit front sight proud, stand up like a normal human, doing normal human things, okay? And then the front sight, the front of the gun comes up, rear of the gun here comes up to meet it. And as it does, at some point for me right there, my dot is in the very top of the window. Okay. And now I finish it and drive it to the target that I want. Okay, try that a couple times.
Okay, so
a little proud, yeah.
And then...
And again, you are totally cool to close one eye as that gun goes out because it works better for you.
Okay.
Because your vision, the way that your brain processes vision, both eyes open, don't work.
Okay, yep. Thank you for validating me with that, John.
It doesn't. I mean, we saw that on the last video. It just doesn't.
All right, so it's a little proud.
Little proud, drive it up. And what I'm thinking is not drop the front sight, but drive the back of the gun. So I'm really taking kind of this back piece of your rear sight and trying to bisect my target with it. Is that bringing your dot from the top?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, it kind of came from this corner.
Yep. As long as it's somewhere in there, now I can steer it.
Okay.
Back to that spot. Good. Once you're getting it there, now here's something that you're doing that I freaking struggle with. I do this so much, it drives me nuts. Every time I go, I'm like, I want a little bit of head bob there just so I can feel like, get there. And I'm really fighting that. So just sitting there and keeping my head where it is, drive up to it. Good. Back and forth. Awesome. Now I want you to do that while we're in dry. I want you to do that while prepping. And as soon as, so if we're shooting at a B8 today, which we are about 5 yards, I want you to prep the trigger as it drives out. And as soon as you see the dot with enough, finish.
Okay, sounds good. Dry.
So we're gonna put our finger on the trigger.
Okay.
Prep. As soon as I see the dot, let it finish. And of course, my desire out of that is not to go now,
Yeah,
but to go
I did
up,
do
finish,
that.
right? Yeah. Okay, try again. Now, the thing you saw there is you were like, yeah, oh, I've got so much trigger left to finish, right?
Yeah.
So now we know I can prep a little bit with a little bit more rapidity. That's where your speed is going to come from. I mean, you're already a very fast shooter. This kiddo shoots better than you, probably. Shoots better than me some days. Nice. All right, finger hide and register. I know somebody's going to argue and complain, wait a minute, you're telling her to put her finger on the trigger before she's doing that. We're micro drilling here, okay? So we've already decided I'm going to shoot. So our muzzle's oriented towards the target. We're now starting that prep process. This is not for beginners. This is not your beginner stuff. This is an intermediate pushing into advanced shooter on how to prep the trigger as it goes out to drop when she's ready for it.
That one felt a lot better.
Was there, finish it, good. You were a little light on that one, weren't you? You were like, I don't want to prep fully. That looked a little spicier. A little late on that one, weren't you?
Late, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So big deep breath. All right, good. Awesome. Okay, let's load it up and let's do a few live. So now we're loaded. And I want that same thing. You're gonna prep, and as soon as that dot comes into the window as we're driving it up, as soon as I see it in the window, anywhere in the 8 ring on this one. Okay. So we're not sniping.
We're not sniping.
We're not sniping.
Okay.
All right. Prep and drive. Decock. I say we're not sniping as she gets a 10 ring hit.
I didn't mean to.
Okay, prep. See it? Good. Okay. Want to make sure that you're seeing the dot again. Recover your trigger in your sights after that shot breaks, okay? So we're not pinning it to the rear. As soon as it lifts, good. Reset the trigger and get ready for my next shot and see the dot. Don't have to take another shot, but I want to be ready for it, okay?
Yep.
Good. Okay, now decock. I want you to prep sooner and more.
Sooner and more? Okay.
Because you're kind of waiting like, well, if I'm here, it's like, no. As soon as this guy goes out, start that prep. So I've got an empty gun, but you can see the back of my hammer here, right? So what I'm seeing you do is you're kind of like, there it goes. Now I'm starting to prep.
Okay.
Okay. Now you've got a double action gun, so you've got to work through, you got to row all the way through that stuff, right? So I have a single action here with the LEM, and so I can literally drive all the way to the wall and find it, right? But where I want to go here, if I started here, I made the decision, hands together, I want to start prepping and have it fully prepped before I get to the end at all. So then that way I can go prepping, there it was. That would have been a high 8 hit, okay? Here it goes. There it is. Okay?
Yep.
So you're gonna prep a little sooner.
Okay. So.
Did you feel the difference in how little hesitation there was at the end?
I did.
Good.
Yep.
Okay, decock. Same thing again. Prepping it more to be ready to finish when you see the dot.
Okay.
See, no hesitation at the end because you're prepped through. Now, of course, you find a place where it's too much. And that's when you got a delta or a mic. And you go, oh, I over prepped. And so I didn't have the dot yet. And gun went, wee.
Yeah.
And you don't want that, right? So where's that line? I would encourage you, you are a sniper. Okay, you're an accuracy first shooter. Okay, find the edge of it.
Okay.
It's pretty good prep. Okay, prep a little sooner now.
Okay. Oh, I got
That was it, you found it.
Didn't.
Now the funny part is she got a headshot out of that, okay? But you didn't see your dot, did you?
No, I
No,
didn't.
so you
I was
found,
trying to shoot down here.
you're trying to shoot for the B8 and instead you got a headshot. So we know we were a little soon on that one. So now we found where's too much prep.
Right.
Okay, so dial that back just a little bit from there, but don't dial it all the way back.
Right.
Okay?
All right.
That's what's up. Now, you're looking at that and you're going, yeah, but it's a Charlie. It's this much Charlie.
Yep.
So that's right on the edge of exactly right. The next time, if you do that 25 times, 22 of them, it'll be just on the other side and it'll be an alpha. Okay?
Okay. I didn't see my dot in that one.
So you just decided, I'm gonna finish the trigger press no matter what.
Kinda.
Okay, we're looking for the dot.
Okay.
Happens to all of us. I've just
There we
okay,
go.
now we got back to what we wanted
There
to
we
do. Good. That's the rep.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Now we're talking. Do you see that you were right there and ready for it, and so you let it fly right when you saw it, right?
Yeah,
That's
that felt good.
banging, girl.
All right.
That's what's up.
Nice. All right.
All right, let's go take a look at the target because I know you guys want to. So that's the one you over prepped.
Yep.
And we know that, right? And again, because we had the gun oriented on the target, and we're talking about small, changes to it here, it's perfectly safe to do, especially in this environment.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of happy that I got that because, I know that my dot was online before I could see it.
It was coming, right? And we knew it was
soon.
there. This is the one I told you about, so close, right? And I
Yeah.
wouldn't worry about this one. This one, we just
Oh, no.
decided on that one. I couldn't see a dot. I'm just going to let it fly.
Yep.
Now, there's another lesson here that sometimes if I can diagnose what happened in 1 second, awesome, diagnose it and do something about it. If it takes me more than a second, let it go.
Yep.
You're not going to do anything about it, right? So that's a practice regimen for you, okay? Is that idea, again, of from here, of driving up so that dot comes right into the window. And I kind of view it like a boat. When you start going and the boat's going, brrr, and then eventually it comes up on plane.
Yeah.
And when that boat comes up on plane, now it's ready to rock. So that same thing, come up onto the plane. Dude, you are crushing it. Hey,
Thank you.
I know, your dad rooked you on the Gabe White test, okay? You're this close to a light pin shooter.
I know. I'm really excited.
Guess what your dad is?
Light pin shooter?
He's a light pin shooter.
Nice.
Guess what I am? Light pin shooter.
pin shooter?
Okay, so you're right there, and that's crushing it. And man, good things to come. 1 year of shooting, this kiddo is crushing it. So give her some kudos in the comments for how far she's come, and just watch where she's going.